Hello friends, welcome to my channel. So in this lecture series we will discuss about operation research. So basically operation research is nothing but scientific approach of decision making that will help you to find the optimal solution of particular problem. There are so many techniques which are used in operation research like linear programming, dynamic programming, inventory control, queuing theory, decision theory, network techniques, simulation, game theory, etc. So out of these topics, today we will discuss about linear programming. So here LPP stands for linear programming problem. So let's start. In order to solve the linear programming problem, you need to formulate the problem and then you need to find out initial basic feasible solution and then check for the optimality. So these are the steps. So in first step, you have to formulate the problem. So formulate consists of three things. One is objective function, another second is constraint, and the third is non-negative constraint. To formulate any problem, you need to define objective function, constraint, and non-negative constraint. By these three things, we will formulate the problem. So formulation of LPP is nothing but conversion of descriptive data into mathematical form in order to find the optimal solution, right? So that's why whatever the data which is given in descriptive form in problem, we will convert that into mathematical form so that we can find the optimal solution. So formulation required three things that we already discussed. We have to identify the decision variable of a given problem. Given problem might be maximization of profit or minimization of cost. So our objective is always to maximize the profit or to minimize the cost. So we have to identify the variable which will give us maximum profit or minimum cost. Second is identify the constraint. So resources are limited. So we have to utilize it in such a way that it will give you maximum profit or minimum cost with the least remaining resources. And the last one is non-negative constraint. So non-negative constraint is nothing but whatever the decision variable, the decision variables cannot be negative because you cannot produce negative amount of product. So there are so many areas in which we can use the LPP like blending problem, production planning, like financial and economic planning, and farm planning. So these are the main area in which you can use this linear programming problem. So let's start with the first problem. GM operates a plant that assemble and finishes car and trucks. It takes 5 main days to assemble a truck and 2 main days to assemble a car. So basically, general manager of a plant that actually do two activities. One is assembling and the another is finishing. So assembly and finishing of car and trucks. So the resources is given that assembly operation required 5 main days for truck and 2 main days for a car, right? And similar way, finishing operation takes 3 main days of trucks and cars. Now because of manpower limitation, assembly can take no more than 180 main days. So this is the constraint. We have only available main days is equals to 180. You cannot utilize main days more than 180 per week. And similar way, finishing has a constraint no more than 135 main days. So you have only 135 main days. You can use 135 main days for finishing and 180 main days for assembly. If the profit on each truck is $300 and $200 on each car, how many of each should they produce to maximize the profit? Now, whenever this kind of descriptive data is given, I will recommend you to convert it into tabular form so that you can easily formulate it. So how to convert it into a tabular form? Let's see. So first of all, identify the decision variable. So here our decision variable is number of truck and number of car to be produced, right, in order to maximize the profit. So let's start the problem. Let's assume that plant produce x1 number of cars and x2 number of trucks. So our decision variable are cars, number of cars and number of trucks. So to convert it into a tabular form, write down the decision variable in the first row and all the constraint in the first column, this way. So number of cars and number of trucks, write down the decision variable in the first row and write down the constraint in first column. Now let's see, car takes 2 main days for the assembly. So car takes 2 main days over here for the assembly, and trucks takes 5 main days for the assembly, right? Similar way, both car and trucks takes 3 main days for the assembly. 3 main days for the assembly. So write down the decision variable in first row and constraint in first column. After that, you have limitation of main days in assembly operation, finishing operation, right? So you cannot use more than 180 main days in assembly operation. Write down the resources over here, 180 and 135, and write down the profit over here. Always try to convert the problem into tabular form. After this, the problem is very simplified. Now coming to the formulation. So in formulation, we have to define objective function, constraint and non-negative constraint. So our objective is profit maximization because profit is given. So always start your problem with constraint. So in formulation, we need to define the objective function, constraint and non-negative constraint. So first constraint is our assembly constraint. So let's say if we produce x1 number of cars and x2 number of trucks, then total main days in assembly will be 2x1 plus 5x2 less than or equal to 180. Why this will be less than or equal to, we will discuss it later on. Okay, so our first constraint would be 2x1 plus 5x2 less than or equal to 120. Similar way for finishing operation, our second constraint is 3x1 plus 3x2 less than or equal to 135. So these two will be our constraint, and our objective function will be like 200x1 plus 300x2. So always try to write the objective in this form. So first constraint for the assembly is, second constraint for finishing operation is. So here why the less than or equal to sign is there, because in assembly you can use maximum 180 days depending on the value of x1 and x2. So in assembly operations, it is not required to utilize a full 180 main days, but you cannot cross this limit. So that's why this sign is less than or equal to type. Similar way for finishing operation also, you can maximum use 135 main days, but you cannot exceed this limit. So that's why this will be less than or equal to type constraint. Similar way, non-negative constraint, x1 and x2 are greater than or equal to 0, because number of produced car and trucks will never be negative. You cannot produce negative number of cars and trucks, right? And our objective function is maximize profit z is equals to 200x1 plus 300x2. So this is the formulation of the problem. So whenever you formulate the problem, these three things must be remembered. You have to define objective function, you need to define all the constraint and non-negative constraint. Okay, so let's take next example. This example is in the table form already, so no need to convert it into tabular form. Let's understand the problem. A Flair furniture company produces table and chairs. So profit per table is 700 and profit per chair is 500. So to make table, it requires 3 hours of carpentry and 2 hours of painting. Similar way, to produce 1 unit of chair, it requires 4 hours of carpentry and 1 hour of painting. Okay, and the furniture company has hour available, that is for carpentry it has 2400 hours, and for painting it has 1000 hours. So this is the limitation. You can only use 1000 hours of painting or 2400 hours of carpentry. You cannot exceed this limit. You may use less than this amount, but you cannot exceed this limit. So I hope you understand this, because that's why this constraint will be of less than or equal to type constraint. So there are other more limitations, like make no more than 450 chairs. So number of chair is production quantity of chair is also limited. So you cannot produce more than 450 chairs, and make at least 100 tables. So this kind of word whenever you use, so you will be more careful about that, because make no more than table. So here it will be less than or equal to type constraint, and make at least 100 tables. So here it will be greater than or equal to type constraint, right? At least means you have to produce minimum 100 tables. You may produce more than 100, but minimum you have to produce 100 table. So this constraint is of greater than or equal to type. So let's coming to the problem. In formulation, we need to define objective function, constraint, and non-negative constraint. So let's assume that company produce x1 number of table and x2 number of chairs, so that profit is maximized. Okay. So objective function, constraint, and non-negative constraint. Here decision variable is number of chair and number of table. First constraint is about carpentry. So table takes 3 hours of carpentry and chair takes 4 hours of carpentry, and total carpentry hours is 2400. So this must be less than or equal to type constraint, right? So it will be 3x1 plus 4x2 less than or equal to 2400. For painting, table takes 2 hours while chair takes 1 hours, and total painting hours available is 1000 hours. So this is also less than or equal to type constraint. Now another constraint is make at least 100 tables. So number of table is x1. So you have to produce minimum 100 table. You may produce more than 100, but minimum 100. So that's why x1 is greater than or equal to 100. In similar way, make no more than 450 chair. So maximum amount of chair to be produced is 450. You may produce less than 450, right? So that's why x2 is less than or equal to 450. Now profit on per unit of table and chair are 700 and 500. So that's why our objective function will be like maximize z is equals to 700 x1 plus 500 x2, and also our non-negative constraint is x1 and x2 greater than or equal to 0. So I hope this formulation of LPP is clear now. So here is the problem for you. Try to formulate the problem and write down the answer in the comment section. Thank you.